Hey, brother. I'll be honest, this is way too small, and in order to fit it on my face, I have to smush my nose so much it feels like it's coming out the back of my head. Worth it. If you've ever been around people who are massive fans of something that you know nothing about, it can be extremely alienating. So today, I wanted to help out those people who feel that way about Star Wars, because like it, love it, hate it, you are going to be around people talking about it very soon. I empathize with these people because despite having what I thought was a vast knowledge of the Star Wars universe, I too have felt this alienation. And it sucks. When Ben, Ty, and I were growing up, we lived and breathed Star Wars. We had all of the toys. This thing came from an exhibit at the Air and Space Smithsonian. I used to draw pictures of the characters. I could tell you exactly which of all of these weapons went to every character. And then along came a game called Shadows of the Empire for the Nintendo 64. It was a fun game. You ran around as Dash Rendar, a Han Solo-esque character, shooting lasers, flying ships, and killing stormtroopers. But I'll be honest, I have no idea who Dash Rendar was, or really what the story was, or when it took place, or if any of it even actually mattered. Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewbacca would show up between the levels in these little cutscenes, but the plot was hard to follow. I remember there was this green villain guy I'd never heard of before, and you never even end up fighting him at the end of the game, so why did I care about him? Well, apparently, Shadows of the Empire was a multimedia promotion that told the story between episodes 5 and 6, and it's no wonder the plot felt disjointed, because in order to get the entire story, you had to buy and beat the game, collect a series of comics, and read a novel. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a lot of work today. Never mind being a kid with no money and no internet in the 90s. I mean, I never even knew the rest of that stuff existed. Plus, there was all this ambiguity as to whether or not this was even canon. For me, and I think many others, that ambiguity spread to anything Star Wars that wasn't an official movie. Whether it was books, comics, novels, TV shows, spin-offs, whatever. It wasn't clear whether these were officially part of the Star Wars universe or just like really good fan fiction that was allowed to use the characters or even just take place within the Star Wars universe. And such is the double-bladed lightsaber of the Star Wars expanded universe. On the one hand, it lets superfans dive even deeper into the universe they love, but on the other hand, it alienates a lot of longtime big fans of the franchise who all of a sudden feel like the general public and just sort of bystanders. Occasionally I would even go to look stuff up so I could understand it, but that often involved reading a short history book online just so you could have a basic understanding, and even then it was out of context from its original source material. I bring this up because once again you might have heard there's a new Star Wars movie coming out, and I've been watching the trailers and reading the articles, and again feeling that alienation, like Knights of Ren, Phasma, First Order, who are these people? Do I quickly need to go read some novels and buy some games and play through them before the premiere so that I understand what's happening? No, because this isn't the expanded universe. It's a movie, which means the comfort zone can return. All of the new stuff in this movie is being introduced specifically for the movie, so no pre-existing expanded universe knowledge is required. But I know some people are still gonna feel out of the loop because they just don't get Star Wars. They don't really like sci-fi, and that's okay, but I assure you, you will win no friends by being that person that's like, Star Wars, can we please talk about something else? I don't even get it, it's just dumb. I know, it's hard to believe those people exist, but control your anger. Anger leads to fear. Fear leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. See, even that Star Wars joke probably alienated some people, but fear not, because today I'm going to go over what I think is just the most basic, bare bones terminology, names, and information you're probably about to start hearing so that you can at least listen, have some idea what's going on, and maybe even ask some questions. Number 1, Kylo Ren. He's the new bad guy for the movie, dresses in all black and carries a crazy looking red lightsaber. As far as we know so far, he's obsessed with Darth Vader and fulfilling his legacy, whatever that means. But the big question everybody has about him is, who's under the mask? Is it Luke? Is it Luke's son? Is he Luke's apprentice? Is he related to anybody at all, or just a brand new character? No matter what the answer is, great conversation starter. Number 2, the First Order. Basically the Empire 2.0, or the bad guys. They have stormtroopers and fly TIE fighters and fight the rebellion. Director J.J. Abrams said the First Order was inspired by the Nazis who fled to Argentina after World War II, and imagining, what if they all got back together and started working together? Basically just the Empire regrouping and finishing off what the Empire started, which is to control the galaxy. They're led by a guy named Supreme Leader Snoke. Number 3, the Knights of Ren. This is the group Kylo Ren is a member of, or possibly the leader of. All of the members take the surname Ren, so Kylo Ren is not actually his name. It's kind of like how Darth was for the Sith. Darth Sidious, Darth Maul, Darth Vader. Interestingly though, the other part of the name, Knights, is more akin to the Jedi, as in Jedi Knights. So we have the First Order, which wants to fulfill the Empire's legacy, and Kylo Ren, with the Knights of Ren, who wants to fulfill Darth Vader's legacy. And it looks like the two groups are working together in the movie, which makes sense because Darth Vader worked for the Empire. However, I think this is going to be a situation where it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and maybe their short-term goals align with each other, but in the long run, I'm betting they part ways. Number 4, Finn. One of the protagonists of the film, he is a former stormtrooper turned good. We see him in the trailers carrying a blue lightsaber and fighting Kylo Ren. But what's really interesting is that Abrams said his last name is being intentionally unrevealed in the marketing, making me think that it has a connection to a previous character we've seen. Because Finn appears to be Force sensitive, that would suggest to me that he is a great nephew of possibly Mace Windu, and then my next guess after that would be a descendant of Lando Calrissian. Mostly because those are like the only other 2 black people in the Star Wars universe. Except for this guy from episode 1, but does anyone remember him? Number 5, Rey. Another protagonist of the film, she hasn't quite been seen carrying a lightsaber yet, but that's okay. In one of the trailers, Luke is narrating and he says, "The Force is strong in my family. I have it, my father had it, my sister has it, you have it." And when he says you have it, Rey flashes up on the screen, which kind of makes me think that she must be related to him in some way because he's talking about his family there, which would make her either his daughter or possibly his niece. And if it's his niece, that means she's actually the daughter of Leia, his sister, and Han Solo. So that would be pretty cool too. There you go. Hopefully that information is helpful to you if you're not a big Star Wars nerd. And even if you're not, maybe you didn't know some of that already, but definitely try and use some of that in any conversation you might come across over the holidays. Then my question for you and everyone else is, how excited are you for Star Wars? And 2, are there any franchises that when your friends start talking about them, you just have to tune out and feel alienated about? Let me know down in the towel section below, and I will see you in another life, brother. These socks are amazing! Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't yet, please leave a like on this video and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. If you want some more Super Carlin Brothers action, you can check out last week's videos right there. I ran down how the Good Dinosaur fits into the Pixar theory, and Ben started a new Fast Facts series about Star Wars. Lastly, if you're looking for Christmas gifts or just want some final thing to add to yours, we have awesome t-shirts available, like this Narwhal t-shirt, if I'm even wearing one, I'm not sure. Available at districtlines.com/SuperCarlinBrothers. You can click the link right down there and go check all those out today. Thanks.